which company organizes, company manages its business.
Correct. So we can say ERP is a technique through which any company or organization can manage its business processes, its business processes and departments and departments to run their business effectively. Okay, so that we know. Okay, so similarly on that ground, if I say that what is an ERP software then? What is an ERP software? So ERP is a generalized term. Okay, ERP एक generalized term है. But ERP software क्या करेगा? Okay, ERP software is a software designed to solve enterprise resources related problems among company. So similarly, like if ERP is a technique, okay, if ERP is a methodology, ERP software क्या करेगा? That is specifically designed to solve the enterprise resources related problem. Like for an example, what kind of problem? Again, what kind of problem? One problem can be the financial reporting, right? Which is a finance related problem. Employees payroll,
Employees documentation.
sales documentation, sorry, sales documentations, as in like when we talk about to create invoices, sales order, sales orders, quotations, etc., etc., etc. There can be a number of sales related problems as well. There could be the problem related to the supply chain. If any company is a manufacturing company, there is a big problem of a supply chain over there. Okay, supply chain problem itself can be categorized into many parts. Like अगर कोई automobile company है तो वहाँ एक अलग तरह की supply chain होगी. And if there is a retail store तो वहाँ पे inventory related supply chain problems होगी. So like supply chain problems can itself be categorized into many parts. Okay, so these are the some of the problems that an ERP software solves. Okay, so all the problems. Let's say if I have a problem related to supply chain, if I have a problem related to any of the another thing, like I said, employee payroll, or let's say employee management, or their shift management, all those things, employee shift management. So these are these all are the ERP related problems that every company faces. So can these problem be able to, I mean, can these problem generally be resolved through the help of a software? Yes, these problems can be able to resolve through the help of a software. Okay, those softwares are generally known as the ERP software. Now, what are the different types of ERP software available in market? Like if I give you the examples, okay, SAP ECC in the last demo section I've already given. What else could be the ERP software? Okay, so Tally is another ERP software. Even I could say Microsoft Excel is also an ERP software. Microsoft Excel is also an ERP software, but it's a different. It's a small scale ERP software, which generally is very much related to handle financial reporting type of needs. Okay, so even Microsoft Excel can also be considered as an ERP software, though it's generally called it as a spreadsheet software, but it's part of it can be applied as a part of the limited applications of ERP software. What else? Oracle SCM is the one which is generally used in the supply chain management. So there can be n number of such ERP softwares. Okay, so till now we came to know and everything about like that. Like even if I talk about SAP ECC, we know that we can categorize SAP ECC into multiple parts. Okay, SAP ECC is a one single software, and SAP Material Management, SAP Finance and Controlling, SAP Production Planning, SAP Sales and Distribution, SAP Human Resource, we call it as a HCM. Some people say it HCM, some people call it as HR. It's same. Don't get confused if someone says a little different. Okay. Uh, SAP Project Systems, SAP ABAP. Now these are the technical modules. The one that I'm mentioning, these are the technical modules. SAP Basis, SAP BIPW, SAP NetWeaver, etc., etc., etc. So on and so forth. Okay, so these all are the sub softwares which are actually part of the SAP ECC umbrella only. You can call it SAP ECC, you can call it SAP HANA. Nowadays, it's much more famous with HANA, but it's altogether the same. Okay, our focus, because see, it's like I'm categorizing that. Okay, it's like I'm categorizing that. Let's say you are stepping yourself into a software industry, and then you are deciding that okay, which field or which programming language you generally want to go over there and build your career upon. Okay, so it's same like that, because it's a SAP itself is a very vast field. No one can learn this entire product on its own. It's actually depends onto the skill set of that particular person, because see, finance and controlling part is mainly taken care by the chartered accountants, and if someone who is good in accounting field, they are the one who generally go over there and learn this part, and then they try to they I mean, for them that this could be the good option. Whereas if someone is from a mechanical background, if someone is from a mechanical background, or if he is looking forward to build his career into the automobile industry, then SAP SAP Production Planning, and SAP Sales and Distribution, these three modules could be the better one for that person. Okay, SAP Human Resource if someone who is working as a payroll analyst, if someone who is working as a talent acquisition person, and if someone who is having an interest in terms of managing the human resources related applications of the client. He's generally the one who generally go over there with who can go over there and learn more onto the SAP HCM side of things, including the payroll and the country specific payrolls as well. SAP ABAP is for the someone who wants to go into the programming side of things. Programming side of things. SAP Basis is a submodule which is related to the security side of things. Security. Okay. Security and authorizations. Okay. SAP NetWeaver is much more related to the portal side of things. So portal, if I would explain you the portal thing in a easier terminology, something that is related with browser. Okay, so generally the programming people or generally the ABAP consultants are not the one who generally takes care of it, but this has been taken care from the SAP basis point of view. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Just just wait. Sorry, guys. Any doubt in this so far and so forth? Portal related applications.
No, sir.
Portal related application, it means is like for an example, if I have a particular website with me, okay, and if I want to transfer all of my SAP application related things onto that particular website, then generally the NetWeaver person or the portal consultants are the one who generally takes care of all those things. BIBW is mainly related to the reporting side of things. Reporting activities. So see, human resources. So mainly in this entire course, our aim is to complete the SAP, HCM, and human related portion of it. We will be starting with the introduction of payroll, and we will take the India related payroll into the consideration and take it to a mid level. Okay, I'll be providing you the recordings and everything so that everything that I'm performing in the class you could be able to replicate it in your own system. That the institute will be that the institute will be providing to you on for a practice purpose. Okay, so it's actually a very very vast module. No one actually can learn the entire part of SAP itself. It takes like years. So only like if your interest is much more onto the human resources side of things, then only you could generally go for this particular application. Okay, so before that, now again coming on to the next point, can anyone explain me what is basically a traditional waterfall software methodology? What is a software methodology? What is a traditional waterfall software methodology? Let's say, for an example, if I want to build a software, what is generally the traditional software methodology that I should follow?
No idea, sir.
Okay. So in a traditional software methodology, requirement gathering is the first part. Requirement gathering. Just take an example. Let's say take an example of Paytm. Take an example of Paytm. If I want to build a Paytm type of an application, what will be the first step? First, I will do the requirement gathering. Requirement gathering as in like what is exactly that I want to go over there and
Business
build,
rule.
right? What this application will be about. What this application is
UPI
all about.
application,
Sorry, payment application,
payment merchant.
payment merchant. Is it only a payment merchant app? Can I do my recharge on Paytm?
Paytm has start more applications. Applications start as more things as like stores, clothes, as a marketing as like
Hmm.
recharge, TV recharge, dish recharge.
Yes. So I can do the billing and everything onto the Paytm as well now, like in today's days. Even I can purchase the insurances as well, right? Even if I want, I can go on to the loan applications as well. I can avail for loan, etc., etc., etc. So these are the requirement gathering that generally Paytm will first go over there and takes care of that. Okay, uh, this has to be the main functionalities of the application that we are building, which is Paytm. Second is the we can say that the analysis part of it. Okay, what is the analysis part of it? What is the analysis part? Challenges. Okay, analyzing that. Okay, uh, which areas should this app first capture
Designing the system.
or run? We'll come to that. It's not designing, but like yeah, okay. Even let's okay. Yeah, good part. So okay, even from a technical standpoint, would I write the Paytm on Java or Python? Which programming language should I go for? What should be the database structure? Database, okay, it could be MySQL as well. It could be Oracle as well. It could be okay. Cloud. Would this application should the database of this application should be there on cloud or should it be there directly onto the physical servers? If it is on cloud, then which one? Azure, AWS, or which one? What? It depends from a company to company requirement basis. It depends from what actually Paytm wants to do with this application. Okay, so all those sort of activities, right? So for an example, you see most of the time like the new applications, जितनी भी नई applications आ रही है, those are actually written in a Python. But even so many of the but if you see a lot of the banking applications are traditionally written on Java. बहुत सारी जितनी भी banking applications आप देखोगे it is generally written on Java. So those sort of decisions, like analyzing how we should build such kind of a app. Okay, what else? Should it be available on App Store and Play Store both? And should it have a website as well? Like some time back, Flipkart has announced this thing that okay, Mintra will be only applicable on applications. Okay, they were reverting themselves back to the application model. They have cancelled their website. I'm not sure if it is if we can still access Mintra on website or not, but like Yeah, these are the business decisions that needs to be analyzed. Okay, so this is entirely related to the analysis part of things. After that, designing designing the system, architecting the system. That okay, the application needs to be built on Java. Let's say if they have decided the application needs to be built on Java, the application needs to be built on MySQL, the application should be available on all the three platforms. Then designing the entire map of the application. That okay, what do I mean by designing? How many frameworks they would be requiring? How many data centers they would be requiring to run their applications, all sorts of those things. Okay, after that, coding and implementation. They'll be hiring a software team, they'll be hiring a data architecture, or sorry, they'll be hiring the system architecture, data architecture, network architecture to build this type of an application. They'll be hiring the entire coding team which will create the source code of the application and write the logic as per the requirement specification. Correct? After that, what? Testing needs to be done as well. So once the code is written already, it needs to be tested that okay, so and so functionality is working correctly or not. Let's say as of now the application is not live, but let's say if I'm doing the recharge through the help of this application, these are the actual test cases. That if I'm doing a testing of performing a recharge, okay, so is it actually providing the payment to the to the service provider or not? For an example, if my service provider is Airtel, is it actually providing the payment to Airtel or not? And is it notifying me that okay, your recharge has been done directly from Airtel with the help of so and so application? So testing all of these scenarios, testing the use cases of it. That okay, what if I do multiple recharge at the same time? Should this application be crashed or not, or what sort of message should I get at that point of time? So testing itself is a very long process. You have to test like negatively as well and positively as well. So testing itself can be categorized into many steps. One is the unit testing, then negative testing, or it is also known as regression testing, etc., etc., etc. Okay, it needs to be done at a various level. Then after that, deployment of the application. What do you mean by deployment of the application? See, when an application is built, it is generally built in
Release software.
sorry.
Release software.
Yes. So when an application is built, it's generally built up upon a common GitHub resource. Okay, it could be a common or private GitHub resource where only the developers and testers have access to it. Okay, but deployment of application could be that it is available for certain set of users. That okay, now users will go over there and test those things. And deployment of applications could also be that what is the source code? Source code, it means like this entire code that they have created. Source code needs to be deploy it onto the available server for end user's application. Then and again, deploying of those applications onto the app stores and play stores and on websites. App stores, play stores, and on website. Okay. Then generally it will go live and support. This I don't need to explain. That generally, whenever the application, any kind of application which is generally get deployed, it becomes live to the user, and then a constant backend support is already there with the applications. That okay, we know every now and then on the app store or on the play store we keep on updating the new applications, right? अगर जैसे मैं अगर Evernote use कर रहा हूँ या फिर for an example any kind of an application that I'm using, it keeps on that application provider keeps on adding the new feature in the application या बग फिक्सेस जिसको अपन कहते हैं, राइट कि इसमें ये बग्स थे तो उसको फिक्स करके दे हैव प्रोवाइडेड द अपग्रेडेड वर्जन ऑफ दैट एप्लीकेशन, अपग्रेडेड वर्जन ऑफ एप्लीकेशन सपोर्ट. Okay, so this is the traditional waterfall methodology. Now waterfall software methodology doesn't get mainly used into the system like while building a software. They have come up with an agile methodology. Okay, so what it actually means by agile methodology, that this entire process could take around 2 to 3 years of time. In some cases, it could take around 4 to 5 years of time. And by that time, the application gets completed. This requirement gathering becomes old. It becomes old. Requirement gathering becomes old from the current market scenario. What could be the scenario? There can be unexpected scenario. For an example, government want the KYC. Government need the KYC now. So when they have started building this application, there was no such thing like KYC or anything that would have been needed from the government's end. Customer or basically the users are looking for new features. New features could be anything or anything like that. So what they basically do in an agile methodology is like, for an example, requirement gathering, I'll categorized it into the 100%. This I'll call it as 100% again. 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 100%. 100%. Okay. So now let's understand, this is the traditional waterfall software methodology. Now this is the sprint methodology. What is a sprint methodology? Let's try to understand. Okay, so instead of doing the 100% requirement gathering, I only do 10% of requirement gathering. Similarly, when it comes to the analysis part of things, when it comes to the designing part of things, when it comes to the coding and implementation part of things, when it comes to the testing part of things, when it comes to the deployment of that particular application, even if I talk about the go live and support after support of that application. Okay, so what should I do in this case? Instead of this 100% requirement, I only focuses myself onto the 10% of requirement. Let's say that, okay, instead of making all of these things, I only want to, as of now, I only want to make a payment merchant app. This is the 10% of what my end goal is. Okay, this is the 10% of what my end goal is. What should be my application? Like phone pay, if I talk about phone pay doesn't have PhonePe was not providing insurances like 2 years back. It's a new feature. Insurances or anything like that was not available on PhonePe. It was only a payment based app. Okay. So instead of that, I focus on 10% of requirement, 10% of analysis, 10% of design, 10% of coding and implementation, 10% of testing, 10% of deployment of application, and 10% of go live and support. So I mean, deployment of application couldn't be 10%. Generally, it's 100% only. But as of now, when I'm keep on adding new features in my application, I keep on upgrading those sort of things while I'm doing go live, right? Like for an example, if I've added for an example, if I'm adding, let's say that, okay, phone pay from now onwards or Paytm from now onwards would also be supported for a new feature which is called as a marketplace. That, okay, I can see the used item much over like a OLX type of an application. I'm building the OLX type of an application within Paytm itself. Okay, so that I can add it in after support. Or like much like WhatsApp. Okay, WhatsApp has now added the payment based merchant system in their applications as well, right? So those sort of things. So this entire part is generally known as the sprint methodology. Okay, what is the advantage of sprint methodology? That, okay, all of these tasks can be achieved in the 6 months, and in 6 months I can go live and provide support, and I can start making money. My application can start making money. And as of now and then, whenever the requirement gets changed, so basically I split everything, right? So this is the first 6 month. Okay, let's write it down. Then I move on to the second 6 month. uh, okay, let's write it in this way. Second phase, 6 to 12 months. This one is the first phase. So in the first phase, 0 to first 6 months. In the first 6 months, I have made the payment merchant application. In the next 6 months, I'm focusing myself upon, let's say I'm focusing on the loan application. And then I will add this feature into this existing application. Then I'll move myself onto the third phase. Third phase. 12 to 18 months. Now I'm focusing myself onto the recharge application. And whenever the recharge applications gets completed from all these phases, I'll add that application to this one. So what it actually does is, to make the 100% out of everything, I also require the budget. Let's say this type of an application will cost me around 10 crores. Okay. But if I look that, okay, if I'm focusing myself only onto the payment merchant application, then it will cost me around 2 crores, let's say it costs me around 2 crores only. So as a business owner, the correct decision for me is to first go with this part, see how it goes in the market, take a feedback from the customers, take a feedback from the customers, and then slowly and gradually moving out onto the different phases. So that's the advantage of sprint methodology. Any questions in that? Any questions in traditional waterfall software methodology compared to a sprint methodology? I'm doing everything in a sprint methodology, but I'm dividing my work. I'm doing the things in a phases, different phases. Instead of focusing myself onto everything, I'm just starting slowly. Just giving you an idea. Any doubt as of now in this thing?
No, sir.
Guys, please speak up. Any doubt? Mahadev, Manali, Shivani, Suhas?
No, sir.
No. Right? Now we'll see. Actually, we are not going to go over there and build any kind of a software, but it's very important to understand that how generally a software methodology work. एक सॉफ्टवेयर मेथोडोलॉजी कैसे वर्क करती है एंड एसएपी में वो सारी के सारी चीज़ें कैसे होती है. इट्स वेरी सिमिलर बट इट्स लिटिल डिफरेंट अगेन. That okay? So now let's see here what I'm doing. I'm actually using these many things to build up an application. How it works in SAP. Let's say I have a company, like for an example, I'll again take an example. Let's take an example of something, let's say Ola Electric, or let's say we can also take an example of Swiggy. We can also take an example of company like let's say Boat. Or let's say we can take an example of Godrej Consumers. Okay, Godrej. So Godrej has couple of things. Okay, they are into the Godrej Electronics, Godrej Electronics, Godrej Real Estate, Godrej Aerospace. Okay, let's keep this out. I'm just keeping it to two applications only. Or let's take an example of an ITC. Okay, so ITC Hotel is the one. ITC Consumer Product is the another one. Consumer products. Consumer products like what? Do you know who owns the Classmate? Have you heard of this brand called as Classmate? Classmate is an ITC brand. Okay, Will's Lifestyle is an ITC brand. John Player is an ITC brand. Okay, these all are the ITC products, by the way, and they sell cigarettes as well. So ITC Gold Flake or something. So this is their welcome hotel chain. So these are the couple of examples that I've taken from different companies that we generally have. Now, see, for all of these companies, right now I'm not going on to the supply chain and any kind of a thing over here. Okay, I'll explain those things later. But as of now, let's focus on to the HR applications only. Or let's mark it as see, for all of these companies, human resources related problem is big one. Human resources related problem. What are the human resources related problem? What are the human resources related problem?
Payroll, talent acquisition, talent training and development.
Okay, correct. Payroll of the employees, hiring the employees, terminating the employees, employee shift planning, employees organization categorization, right? Like, how do I know that, okay, he's working in ITC hotel, this is the manager of ITC Welcome Hotels, or he's the manager of ITC Gold Flake, or he's working for a company called as Classmate? How do I know? Categorizations. What else? Reporting structure. Who will report to whom? How do I know? Okay, I am saying that, okay, the entire ITC, or let's say even if I talk about the Godrej, that, okay, he so and so is the CEO of Godrej, and these are the people who are working under him. Okay, this is the electronic department division. This is the real estate division. This is the different entity of Godrej. A classical example could be Tata, a company which is having so many of sub branches under its header or parent company. You have Tata Motors, you have Chroma, you have Tata Click, you have Voltas as their consumer product company, and then you have TCS, which is completely different thing, which is an IT division. You have 4 lakh, 5 lakh employees working only in TCS. Then you have 2 lakh, 3 lakh employees working only in Tata Motors. How do you do that categorization on a massive level? Okay, on a massive level. Not only the 10,000 employees, but even if I talk about employees who are over 1 lakh, 2 lakh across different divisions in a company, right? How do you create a reporting structure? Reporting structure, who will report to whom? Who will report to whom? Things like that. Shift planning, I have already mentioned. Employees calendar, employees working calendar. That is the part of the time management generally. Employees working calendar. Employees leaves. Even itself in the payment, employees payroll calendar. Who will get the salary at what time under which branch? Taxation of employees. Taxation, HRA, and car allowances of employees. So there can be n number of such challenges when I talk about the human resources problem. There can be n number of such challenges if I talk about from the human resources standpoint. Correct? Any doubt so far in this one?
No, sir.
I'll provide you this Excel sheet. Actually, I will go over there and create a group on Drive, and I'll put all of these materials, even the recording over there, so that you can see that later. And like generally, we will create all sorts of notes here itself in an Excel. Okay, so that whenever you are even if you are going for an interview or anything, you can directly refer to this Excel, the sub tabs, and you can prepare yourself for all of those things alongside with the configuration that you are performing in the class. So these are the human resources related problem. Every company has these types of problem, right? Every company has, even the boat headphone, even let's say this is a small company, it only has, let's say, 10,000 employees, but even this company has the same problem. Swiggy is also having the same problem. Godrej is also having the same problem. ITC is also having the same problem. Ola is also having the same problem. What to do for all of these activities? Should they make their own software? Should these companies make their own software? Make their own HR software?
No.
Why? Can they make? Can they make? They can make. They can make. Generally, they can make their own software. But should they make? See, Swiggy is a e-commerce food company, right? Their business generally generates from selling food, right? How do their business generally gets generated? By selling food. Ola Electric is an again, it's an automobile company by selecting electric vehicles. They are not the one. Okay, generally in Ola Electric, or let's say in Swiggy and Boat or Godrej or ITC, they all use Excel, right? They all use Excel. Can they make their own spreadsheet? Can they make their own software to generate spreadsheet? They can make, but it will cost them crores of money. So they generally don't go over there and make any kind of software like that. What they do is they implement the software. They implement the ready made software. The ready made ERP software. In this case, SAP HCM ERP software. Can you get this idea? So here what I am doing, I am building a software. And what I am doing, that I have a standard software. I have a standard software which is an SAP HCM. Okay. Now it has a standard functionality. Standard functionality. What do I mean by standard functionality? Can anyone give me an idea of standard functionality? See, I'll give you an idea. When SAP was creating the software, do they have any idea that okay, this is for automobile industry? Or do they have any idea that this is for, let's say, retail chain companies? Retail chain companies. Or do they have any idea that this is for let's say, pharma industry? pharmaceutical industry. Or let's say this is for an oil refinery company, the people who are working in the oil refinery. See, this is a standard software. Now, now, if my client is Ola Electric, then I have to customize this software for as per the Ola Electric need. If I'm implementing this software for Swiggy, then I have to customize this software for the people who are working in Swiggy, for the management of Swiggy, so that Swiggy people can use this software to manage all of these HR related problems. Similarly, if I'm implementing this software for ITC, then see, this is a standard software with the standard functionality. This is a standard software with the standard functionality. Let's say Godrej has a new requirement that okay, Godrej has some of the other requirements that okay, uh, all of the Godrej employees, all of the Godrej employees should get their salaries on, let's say, 28th, on 28th of a month, instead of last day of month. So these are the requirements. This is just a one simple example that I'm giving. So I have this standard software given from SAP, and I have to customize this software based on to my client's need. See, Ola can be present in Chennai. One another example, Ola can be present in Chennai and Pune only, whereas ITC is present in Pune, Hyderabad, 200 plus cities. So let's say, so see, the requirement of ITC is different from the requirement of Ola. Correct? Guys, please answer yes or no.
Yes.
So the requirement of ITC is different from the requirement of Ola. See, slowly and gradually, when we will actually implement the system, we will start realizing that okay, how complex can a system be, and what is generally the solution, and like how different companies build their entire different structures on with the different types of applications. Okay, so for Ola, which is an automobile company, is very different from ITC, because ITC is again a consumer good. It's into the hotel chain. It's into the like let's say FMCG type of products, and which is very different from Boat Headphone, which is an electronic company. Okay, which is again very different from Swiggy, which is again nothing but an e-commerce delivery platform. Okay, so see, every company has different types of challenges. So what generally we do with the SAP HCM is we have to customize this software so as per the different companies need. Okay, we don't build a software, we take a standard ready-made software. This is a ready-made software, and we customize this software so that the clients can manage their human resources related problem. This is the entire goal. That is the consulting all about, like SAP consulting all about, taking a standard software and customizing it for the client need. In this case, we are countering human resources related problem. Okay, if for an example, if we talk about supply chain related problem, then supply chain related problems are very different. For those, the client generally uses SAP MM, material management, or SAP production planning. Or let's say if it is the sales order, then SAP sales and distribution. Okay, so here in this case, this is generally known as the entire life cycle of customizing this ready-made product as per the client, as per one particular client, is known as ASAP methodology. It is also known as accelerated SAP, or it is also known as ASAP methodology. ASAP. So, what is an ASAP methodology? See, I'll give you a little brief about ASAP methodology. We will discuss in detail tomorrow about ASAP methodology. ASAP methodology basically starts with a project preparation. Project preparation. It then goes on to the business blueprints. Business blueprints. It then goes on to the realization of the project. It then goes on to the final preparations. Then we go on to the go live and support. So in SAP we generally don't have any kind of a designing part. What we generally do, we take the standard software which SAP provides me, and first I will do the project preparation. That what is the project preparation again? Like if I talk about, let's say I'm implementing this system for company like Ola. Okay, so in project preparation, first I will see that what are the geolocations of Ola. That okay, I want to implement all the SAP related HCM related processes in company like Ola. Then all the geolocations of Ola, let's say Ola is based out in Pune, and Ola is based out in Chennai. Their manufacturing plants, in terms of their manufacturing. But if I talk in terms of, let's say, their sales outlets, it's based out in 100 plus countries. It's based out in 100 plus cities. So I'll map all of these project preparations onto the SAP system first. Then I'll prepare a business blueprint. I'll do the realization, final preparation, and go live and support. That go live and support means what? That this software, which is a standard software, I've customized this software as per the Ola's need, and I'm handing over this software to Ola so that they can start using all the human resources related activities and can start doing all of these things through the help of a software. Any questions? We'll understand this tomorrow in a detail, but any questions as of now?
No.
Okay. See, bear with me, guys. See, first couple of classes, 2-3 classes will be a little theory related. But once we will actually get started with SAP HCM, you'll feel a lot of fun while configuring the system. It is really not that difficult. The only thing it needs is like when you're actually taking yourself onto a new software, you just need a little time to get your hands onto that software. Once your hands are completely set up onto that particular software, then it becomes very easier for you to customize everything as per how do you want. Then even you can do the uh, demo configurations of building the big companies onto the one particular software as well. Different departments, that okay, I want to create this reporting structure, this person will report to this guy, these are the positions that I'm enrolling for this. I mean, there are a lot of the things. Okay, so couple of 2 3 classes will be theory classes. So bear with me, and I'll put this recording. We'll create a group on Drive, and I'll put this Excel sheet as well for your note takings. Okay, so that's it for today's session. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time, um, and send me your email ID onto the WhatsApp group so that I can create a
Sure,
drive
sir.
folder and can put everything over there. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'm leaving here.